Folks, let's rank every single gadget in the finals for Season 7. Now when I do tier lists, I like to keep S tier very exclusive. That means that whatever goes into S tier is something that you practically need to have in your loadout. A tier is for items that are very good but you don't need to have, and then so on until you get to F tier, which are items that if you are using, you're practically throwing or you're just not taking the game seriously. Alright, so the way that I'm going to do this is I'm going to do the light gadgets first, medium second, and heavy last. But I'm still going to keep it all in one list, so I'm not going to waste your time. So to get into it, start off, stun gun, or now known as the nullifier. Trash. This thing is absolutely useless. If you use this item and you play against me, thank you so much, because you're just simply allowing me to line up my shot and beam your head off the second I come out of the nullified phase. I don't know why they changed it into such a bad gadget. They may as well have just removed it from the game. Absolutely horrible. The old stun gun would have gone straight to S tier, but this thing, Vanish Bomb. Now this was in my loadout for probably 4 seasons straight. Very good if you're putting a gateway and you're trying to get your team onto the point without being seen. But right now in the current state of the game, I'm going to put it into B tier. Now I'm going to leave it high B tier, because it is useful with like shotguns and M11, but right now they're much better options. Speaking of better options, Gateway, S tier, very arguably the best gadget in the game. Obviously for moving the objective, for getting your team onto the point safely. I could go endlessly calling out its use cases, even to use it as a mobility item, which is selfish, but yeah, S tier easily. Sonar Grenade, I'm going to put it into B tier. You're going to see why in a second. Next gadget, Thermal Vision. This was in my loadout last season for the entire duration of the season and the season before, because Invis or Cloaking Device got such a huge buff and was very prominent. B tier, I'll put it ahead of these two. A couple of facts about Thermal Vision. If you pair it with Smoke, it's obviously very good. Another thing is, controller players lose aim assist while they're in smoke. So with Thermal Vision, it re-enables the aim assist. It's something that a lot of people don't know, but it's actually true. And the other thing is obviously it's a great counter to Invis lights. But I don't think Invis is that strong anymore, especially this season. Dash is much better. Thermal Vision gets B tier for me. Track and Dart, especially if you have a Ruby one, is much better than Sonar Grenade. It tracks the enemy perfectly for like 20 seconds. You see there every single footstep. I think Track and Dart is a much better choice than Sonar. Now, this thing, I don't know if I should put it left or right of the gateway. I'll keep it right for now, because it probably will get nerfed. But probably in the current state of the game, the best gadget in the game, the Healing Gun. Brings a heavy up to full HP in less than a second. I'm not going to say much more about it. If you're coming against a good heavy and he has a light who's his pocket using this thing, it's absolutely over. This thing is absolutely broken. If you're running light and you're not running this, there's something wrong. Flashbang C tier, very annoying to play against, but an absolute waste of a slot in my opinion, especially on light. Breach Charge, not C4. This is not C4. I'm going to put this into D, trash. If you want to cancel a steal, there's better items like this thing and Gateway. No, there's no reason to play this. Glister Grenade, S tier. Now I said at the start of the video, I'm keeping S tier exclusive. And right now I already have 3 items in it. But I'm telling you right now, every single one of these items, I'm keeping in my loadout on light for the entire duration of the season. Unless they get really heavily nerfed. I think this is a Smoke Grenade. I'm going to call it a Smoke Grenade. Putting it in B tier. Right next to Thermal Vision. The reason why it can't go into A tier, and I'll have people in the comments tell me Smoke is OP and it's great for getting steals and whatever. The reason why I'm putting it into B tier is you're basically wasting 2 slots on this one trick. If you're running Smoke and you're not putting Thermal Vision with it, you're just giving your own team a disadvantage and yourself a disadvantage. So if you're picking Smoke, you're also picking this. But is it worth 2 slots, especially when you have to sacrifice one of these items up here? I don't think so. I don't think so at all. Gravity Vortex. It's not better than anything in B. It is better than the Flashbang, so I'll put it at the top of C tier. If you're running that thing, you're just trying to be different. I don't see its use case. Ever since it came out, it's been pretty useless. Thermal Bore, put it right in front of it actually. If you have a medium on your team, this is useless because he can just demat whatever you're trying to break. It has one very effective use, and that is for suspended structures, to knock down them structures, especially if it has a cash out. Pyronade, it just doesn't do enough. Borderline trash, but I'll keep it in C tier. Alright, now that's all the liked gadgets ranked. Now, if you look at that tier list, you can see there's one very obvious thing, and there's nothing in A tier. And while I didn't plan that beforehand, it's actually become very clear to me now that these gadgets at the very top are so much more useful than everything below it. Now there is one thing that will come into play here, and that is the goo grenade, wherever it is, because it's available to every class. The same thing with the frag. So whatever way I rank those items, I will keep in mind how I would have put them for light as well, and how effective they are across the board for all classes. Anyways, to move on to medium, zipline, A tier. Straight into A tier. This is a very effective gadget. Do you need it in your loadout for medium? Borderline, yes, but there are two other gadgets that I'm always swapping. Whenever I need to swap something for medium, the zipline is the one thing that comes out, and the jump pad always stays in, and it stays in S tier. Quite simply, the best all-rounder mobility item in the game, the jump pad. Jump pad is always staying in my loadout. If I'm dropping a mobility item, the one that I'm dropping is the zipline. Defib, S tier, you need it in your loadout. If you're not running defib, you're just simply being different, and that's fine, but I'm telling you right now, it's an S tier gadget. Reshaper, C tier, extremely niche. Yeah, sure, you can remove a barricade, but you can do that with demat. Yeah, sure, you can reshape a turret, but if your enemy's using a turret, I wouldn't even be worrying about that fight anyways. It's an easy dub. Glitch mine, A tier. This is another item that is very, very effective. Not quite necessary, but I do swap it out with the zipline every now and then. Breach drill, the new item. Maybe... hold on, 1 second. Alright, explosive mines. Oh man, they used to be so strong. They used to be very, very good, especially if you're on the shotgun. But they nerfed it so hard, I can't even put high. It has to be like C tier now. I think the damage is still strong, but when you only have one charge, and it just doesn't work in the current state of the game. Gas mines, it's like the same case. I just don't think it's that good. I'll put it right beside it, maybe ahead of it, because it might be better for defending the cash out. APS turret. I feel like APS's use is actually not that bad. Obviously, my tier list focuses on ranked and cash out game modes, but in other game modes like Power Shift, it's going to be a lot higher. Top of C tier, I think it's, if you're against a good team that's running 2 heavies, that's actually not a bad choice at all. It's also immune to glitch grenades, so that's useful. Frag, this used to be easily an A tier, borderline S tier gadget. They nerfed it down to only 1 frag grenade, and they killed the damage. So right now, C tier as well. I'll put it like ahead of these 2 nades, but nah, it's just not a great choice. Goo, that must be gas. Alright, this is goo. Easy A tier. Very, very easy A tier. The most all-rounded, diverse gadget in the game. Light, medium, heavy. It's viable on all classes, but you don't need it on any of those classes. That's the thing with it. You'll see some players running it, and they'll be very effective for getting away, or mobility, or whatever, but you don't need it. Gas grenade, great for defending the cash out, but you don't need it, and I think it's a bit of a waste of a pick in my opinion, but I'll still put it into B tier. So as you can see, medium has 2 S tier gadgets, and what you'll notice is most mediums in the game will be running jump pad and defib, but they'll always be swapping out the 3rd slot for one of these 3. Anything below this is just niche and maybe map dependent. Alright, now for heavy gadgets, I've already thought about these ones a little bit, and I think that they're all going to rank very, very well and very highly compared to the other classes as a whole. Barricades, A tier. Very easily A tier. They're immune to glitch grenades. If you have distance between you and the enemy and you put up a barricade, there's nothing they can do to hit you. However, in close range, you can demat a barricade, and so that's one of its small flaws, but other than that, it's a very, very solid choice. Anti-gravity cube, B tier. Very annoying to play against, but very easily countered. A glitch grenade, or you can just shoot it. C4, A tier again. Some people would argue that it's S tier, and while it is probably one of the best items in the game to stop a cash out being stolen, it just doesn't feel S tier yet for me. And as you see how I rank the rest of these, you'll notice that it could be swapped out for other items. Dome shield, absolutely S tier. Say what you want about the dome shield, and it can get glitched, and it can get shot, and it can get broken very easily. It's still going to be in 98% of heavies loadouts. Even if it only stays up for 1 second, the difference that it makes in a fight is huge. Heal ball, I'm actually going to put it into A tier. Now I think this is the one item on the entire list that we're not going to get a general consensus of agreement on, but for me I think it's A tier. I think it's at the bottom of A tier though. It's borderline B tier unless it gets a buff. But for now, very solid choice if it's in your loadout. I don't see anything wrong with picking the heal ball. I just don't think it's that strong that it goes into S tier or any way higher up on A tier. Lock bolt, A tier for me. You don't need to catch 3 players with it. You just catch 1 player and that's a free kill. I don't see myself putting this any lower. This is absolutely always either in my loadout or in my reserve. I don't see any other way to put it. It's a very strong gadget. I'm so happy it got buffed and it didn't leave it the way it was. Right now it's in a very solid state. I don't think they should change it whatsoever. Now, proximity sensor. Oh man. There we go. I'm almost sure that there's a content creator who's after speaking very highly of the proximity sensor. Because in every single game of World Tour that I play, without fail, and exclusively World Tour and Quick Cash, someone's running a proximity sensor and it's absolutely useless. The most useful thing about this is how annoying that beeping noise is when you walk over it. Man, I don't understand why there's so many of these out there. You'll never see a Ruby player on this or in higher ranked. I just put it into this tier. Whoever popularized this item, congratulations, man, because you're after fooling like 90% of heavies in World Tour into using this absolutely trash, dog shit, useless item, while you're probably using some of these S tier gadgets and demolishing all of them. Congratulations, good job. Pyro mines, B tier. The only mine on the list that I have any respect for. This thing, as a light man who plays a lot of ranked, this is something that I actually do see and I do die to quite often. So pyro mine definitely gets into B tier, not A tier, but in terms of mines, very strong, very strong. And RPG. Alright, so we're in season 7. I would say 5 out of 7 seasons this would have been the top of S tier. But unfortunately for any of the max level RPG players, it's an A tier gadget in the current state of the game. 100% interchangeable for any of these gadgets to the left of it. As you can see on this tier list, Eddie has one S tier gadget being the Dome Shield, which I think is a necessary gadget. But between Goo, Barricade, C4, Lockbolt, Heal Emitter, and RPG, there's a choice there to be made. And I don't think any of them are 100% necessary, but they're all very, very solid, very good choices. And that does conclude our tier list. Now, while that's what I came up with, I would like to hear your thoughts and your opinions down below. If you would have done anything any differently, please leave a comment. I try to read every comment and reply to any questions. We love talking about the finals here. If you want to see a weapons tier list or Ruby gameplay or just tips or just the finals content in general, please consider subscribing. Leave a like or dislike so that we hit the algorithm, we get the finals out there, make this game as big as we can make it. Once again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.